Good morning, happy Monday. Let's talk about the 16-hour fast every day. So there are some benefits to fasting for 16 hours, but what you do in that 8-hour window that you're eating also makes a huge difference. So while eating in that 8-hour window, you still need to get in enough calories for your body to do repair work, for it to do strength building, for it to do muscle building, all of those things. But in order to not create insulin resistance, which if you're postmenopausal, you're going to struggle with anyway, because lowering of estrogen in the body actually increases the risk for insulin resistance. So you need to get through that 8 hours with 3 meals that get you at least 90 grams of protein, and then get you enough vegetables and some fruit for the day so that you aren't starving yourself into a depleted state. But you also need to make sure that you're not snacking, you're not over consuming caffeine, those kinds of things. So for instance, for me today, I started my day with 3 eggs and 3 Amy Lou chicken breakfast sausages, which got me 30 grams of protein. I then also had a cup of coffee with almond milk from almonds. Like, I made the almond milk this weekend. The nice thing about making it yourself is you get to decide how rich the almond milk tastes. And I don't do dairy because I haven't been able to do dairy my entire life. And with the richness of that almond milk, I don't need any sweeteners. Before I had breakfast, I had 24 ounces of lukewarm water with a little bit of apple cider vinegar poured into it, and I took my morning vitamins. My lunch today is 6 ounces of roast that I measured out from what was left over from dinner last night. And then I will also be having, I have some zucchini that I'm going to eat with that, a salad, and a banana. I think when I calculated out, that 6 ounces of roast has 45 grams of protein in it, so I'm already at 75 grams of protein by lunch. Now, because I'm a cycling female and I still have a regular monthly cycle, I am not fasting for 16 hours, I'm only fasting for 14. My last meal of the day is 6 ounces of chicken, and I've added a curry stew sauce to it. I also have bell peppers, broccoli. It's a mix of vegetables basically that I sauteed last night to go with everyone else's dinner. I'll be having that for my dinner this evening, which will happen right around 4 o'clock. That 6 ounces of chicken gets me another 45 grams of protein, so I'm at 120 grams of protein for the day. The part that you don't get to is the stage of autophagy, where your body goes in and cleans up all the cells that are having like little mutations and replicating in a negative way. And because you're postmenopausal, you can get away with a 16-hour fast if you have enough energy to get through every single day without a nap, or feeling like you need a nap, or feeling like you need an afternoon cup of coffee or a sugar hit. And also that you have enough energy that you don't need a snack or you're not looking for food to boost your energy. Just because you're postmenopausal does not mean that your cycle starts happening on 24 hours like a male's would. It still happens on a 28-day cycle. And so particularly, you'll probably have a few days out of the month where you're very low energy. And if you start tracking those days and make sure that on those days you're not fasting for longer than 14 hours, you will probably feel better overall. But then for the days where you start to pick up and have more energy directly after that, I would encourage you to do a 72-hour fast or an every other day fast for 3 to 4 days. So where you fast basically for 36 hours, you eat and then fast again for 36 hours, and then eat and then fast again for 36 hours. The research on that comes from a guy who put together the Prolon kit. And if you want a discounted one of those, email me. I have a discount code. His name is Dr. Longo, and you can look at his research on fasting mimicking diets. He's based out of Italy, so all the research is written in Italian and then translated to English. but it's actually a pretty good translation. And he has a book called The Longevity Diet, and it's a great thing to follow. In the book, he talks about how if you do this every month, follow this for 5 days every month, you actually get the benefits as if you were doing a 72-hour fast every month, but it keeps people who've had issues with their blood sugar more stable throughout the fast. And it can help you make it through a difficult time without feeling like you're starving yourself to death. Still, one of the biggest things that we see go wrong in female health is that women are not getting enough because they've been told just eat more or eat less and exercise more, and it doesn't work. It actually puts you into cortisol overdrive, which will then push blood glucose up, which will then push insulin up, which creates more insulin resistance. And they have been told that they need to be a specific size. And the thing that I will tell you is that you need to be able to make it through at least 3 days a week while you're fasting, forever long you're fasting. You need to have enough energy to make it through walking for 15 minutes after each meal, on top of doing heavy strength and resistance training with weights 3 days a week, without needing a nap, without needing a snack, without needing anything extra outside of your 3 solid meals. Because as we become adults, we should be able to self-regulate hunger better. And if we don't know how to regulate hunger better, then we will end up more insulin resistant. This is also why I still tell people to track everything, because if you're not having a monthly cycle, how do you know what those fatigue days are unless you're tracking it? And they'll be, again, somewhere between that like 24 to 30 day period. You'll have 4 to 6 days where you're just exhausted during the month, and it has nothing to do with anything other than a hormone shift that happened in your body that's still occurring even though estrogen isn't as high in your body. I hope this helps with your fasting journey. And again, if you're going to try something like the fasting mimicking diet, or you want the book, The Longevity Diet, I don't make money off that book, The Longevity Diet, but it is a great book, has some really good recipes in it, and can help somebody get through that, especially if they have type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes, or they suffer with something like PCOS and they're wanting to do a prolonged fast but don't know how to get through it. You can also just buy the pre-made kit. I do make, I think, a 15% commission off that kit if you use my code, but that code also gets you, like, I think 20% off and free shipping.